The heck? Why can't I chat? So weird, bro. Yo, can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Why, Charlie? What happened? I don't know what's going on with my stream, but I can't comment. I can see the chat box, but I can't comment for some reason. I don't know if it's a glitch or what. So weird. Yeah, I'm really not sure, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, if this 5 minute inverses though, I am gonna take this. I prefer to see a London low sweep, but we're holding this 5 minute fair value gap. And again, the draw for me is higher. I mean, we're going to be bullish until we're not. We have another internal high here that I will be moving my stop to break even at if we do get it. So I will label this in black. And yeah, we'll see what happens here. But this 5 minute inversion looks really good to me. Do 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 do. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, right now this is what I'm seeing. Again, we're delivering from a 5-minute bullish fair value gap. The draw is obviously higher. We have daily highs here and here. So these are my two targets. If we look at the Asia range, why is my... Oh, hold on. First of all, my high time frame candle projections are not coming up. Second of all, where is my Asia range? Indicators. I think it was ICT everything. Damn, it erased all my settings. Ugh, I'm gonna have to do this later. That's all right. So yeah, basically I'm still bullish, guys. If you look at the daily chart, we continue to make higher highs and higher lows. So what I'm thinking is that this is going to be a Judas swing down, creating the wick on the daily chart. If we even end up going lower here and sweeping London low. And then I would like to see this 5-minute inversion occur, and then I'll target this daily high and this daily high. That is the only thing I will consider taking today, so we'll see what happens with it. By the way, guys, I did sell some covered calls on my Tesla position. I'm going to alert it in the Discord real quick. But until we get this 5-minute inversion, guys, I'm not going to be taking anything. Let me just quickly alert this under the option selling plays section. Okay, at premium. Also, guys, make sure to like the stream if you're in here because it helps other people see it. But right now, what I'm looking for potentially, again, if we bounce out of this 5-minute fair value gap perfectly, I'm going to look for this 5-minute to inverse to the upside with a 5-minute close. Hopefully, it will happen within the secondary macro time, so this 1050 macro. And then I'm going to be targeting this daily high and this daily high. So again, still waiting patiently here. Okay. So still holding this 5 minute gap. Again, if this ends up closing below, I still think that this London low is, there's potential for this to come. I'd rather see a touch into here. This is kind of like the OTE. So if we draw a Fibonacci from low to high, or from high to low, somewhere in here would be a decent area to short, in my opinion, to target London low. But if, again, if we inverse this, then we're going to continue higher here for sure. Okay, hold on. My God, bro, Elon is a savage. Wow. Okay, who's ready for the 5 minute inversion? Charlie's ready. All right, guys, I'm already I'm already regretting selling some covered calls on Tesla. Already down 27% on those covered calls. I mean, regardless, I'm gonna have to sell Tesla at 400 if we do it. But don't be the person that sells covered calls against all your Tesla shares, because if you do, and Tesla runs a lot higher than you expect, let's say the UAE announces some crazy deal for robo taxis or for Optimus bots, that stock is going to be up huge, and then you're going to be missing out on a ton of potential gains. So just keep that in mind, guys. Crazy. Anyways, it's not going to be the full position if I do end up losing. Not losing, but if I end up having to sell my Tesla shares at 400, I won't complain. But if it ends up going back to 400, it's probably going to go much higher. So we'll see what happens with it. But if I were you, I would be selling super low delta um, covered calls against your Tesla and very far out of the money. So right now I'm selling the May 23rd covered calls. Actually, I'm not going to explain exactly what I'm doing, but I'll post it in the Discord. Okay, so still no inversion, guys. All right, so I just posted in the option selling tab, guys, on what I just sold. And now we just wait patiently. So again, nothing happening here. We traded into that 5-minute gap and rejected. So the only way I'm going to take this long is if we get the inversion, guys. You have to be super patient. And that's the end of it. And yeah, so we will see what happens here. We will see what happens. Okay, so still holding the 5-minute. Let's just pull up really quick. I want to show you guys what I'm looking at with Boeing. For those of you guys who are in the community, you know that we bought Boeing in the 150s. I'm coming close to selling most of the position. Again, we're out 80%. Where's Boeing? By the way, one of my friends just joined this company, Elevance Health. He got a job there, so... With Boeing, guys, this is a very strong PDRA right here. This is the monthly fair value gap. So once Boeing hits 214, guys, I'm going to be out 95% of this position, and I'm going to hold runners in case we inverse it and go up. Because we have two internal highs here on the monthly that are super strong in the 270s and 280s, basically. So I will look to take more of my profits off there if we get them. So 95% of the position off in this monthly fair value gap, and then holding the runners. If you guys want to take, I wouldn't take short dated calls, but even longer dated calls up towards this like 215 area, you can, or just buy shares. I think that's a pretty good opportunity there. Guys, make sure also, there's 6 people in here, and there's only 1 like. Wow, that is wild. Come on, guys. 1 like. That's disappointing. All right, so I want to see this 5-minute inverse, and if it does, again, first TP, if you want, is going to be here, but really you could just take it at that daily internal high right there. Second TP here. And then if you have runners, you can hold them up towards that 75% and beyond. Do, 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 do. Damn, guys, 3 likes with 6 people in here. Come on, man. Shit. Wow. Qatar to sign an agreement to buy over $200 billion of Boeing jets. Largest order in Boeing's history. And they're only up 1%. That's wild. I might even take a trade today. I mean, we're 3% away here. I think this is going to pump. But I'm not going to take this. I might need to see a pullback down into the 190s to take that. But, I mean, my long-term position is, I mean, we're again, we added all the way here in the 150s. If you guys don't believe me, let me see if I can find it for you. BA. Or I can type in Boeing. Search for Boeing. All right, so here it is. On October 3rd, 2024, new higher risk ad. This is going to be a controlled long-term ad. What is this? The stock is Boeing. And if you look at where we added Boeing, it was at 151.22 when I added it. And again, my objective was this monthly fair value gap, I said, and then this internal buy side right here. And yeah, so beautiful. Just a heads up for those of you guys who didn't believe that I did add Boeing at 152. When the sentiment was at peak fear and everyone was losing their minds, that's when I added it. And again, if you guys want access to that and all my other plays, we just added another stock pretty heavily yesterday, actually. And I added more today. If you're in the community, please don't mention what it is. But yeah. So right now, because I don't have that many subscribers and followers, I am live streaming on YouTube 3 times a week. But the best days for day trading, I do live stream in the Discord. But then you also get access to all of my long-term plays, my option plays, swing trades, pretty much everything. And then again, the best day trading days, which this week, in my opinion, were Tuesday and Friday, I will be live streaming in the Discord. MSTY, hell no. Hell no. I won't touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. Another thing that, if you guys don't believe we added Bitcoin, this Bitcoin I added right here. All my Bitcoin ads, I mean, I added in the 130s as well. Sorry, guys. I added right here. My bad. I was looking at the last leg of price. Right here on this low and this low, I added Bitcoin, and then I also added in the 30s right. I think it was in this leg of price, actually. So like the low 40s. But my cost basis is between this 38 and the 54. Let me pull it up. If you don't believe me, let's look at Bitcoin. Because nobody believes me when I tell them this. All right, so this was actually in the long-term ads section on July 4th. So while the fireworks were going down, Bitcoin swept sell-side liquidity at 54,000. This was my first DCA of the year. This is a good place to start adding if you believe in Bitcoin for the long term. We are studying the charts even on the 4th of July while the fireworks are going. Dedication. If you guys don't believe that, that was the first DCA I ever had of the year on Bitcoin. Anyways, the reason I'm telling you guys this now is because there's nothing going on in the charts. This is the only trade that I will even consider right now based on structure. No, because I don't have that much of a following yet, I live stream on YouTube 3 times a week. And the best days of the week, I live stream on Discord. But the main reason that a lot of people join the Discord, I don't have that many people there for day trading right now. But most people are in there for my long-term ads and my swing trades. I have, I think, an 87% or 88% success rate on my swing trades. And then long-term plays, I mean, those are just long-term, so I hold them. And yeah, that's it. And then my option plays as well. That's another way I generate monthly income. We also added Tesla between 180 and 220. Exactly, Tristan. What else did we add? ASML is another one that I added. And we added that at 642 is my lowest. I think that's my cost basis right now. It's now trading at 766. So we are up 19%. I'm up almost 70% on Tesla. The only things that are down right now for me are UNH and Nike. Do 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 do. Only good thing I've seen that would be good today is the SMT at the top. I mean, this is a pretty good 5-minute inversion. I called it out, but I said that it wasn't A+ because it was the first 5-minute inversion of the day. Wasn't a huge fan, but I still think London lows are possible here. So we'll see. And one thing, again, for those of you guys who are new here, the number one thing I like to teach is discipline. And as much as I want to take a trade right now, again, you have to be so patient to make sure that you're taking the A plus setup. And right now, there is nothing. Wow, I just got a ringing in my ears. That was weird. Yeah, so we're trading in this 5 minute bullish fair value gap, but the only way that I'm going to be able to take a long is if we get the inversion. And if you're not really familiar with inversions, watch my YouTube shorts. I post them twice a week. I try and do it more, but every single one is just inversion fair value gaps and how they work. Watching TikTok traders is so funny. What is that again, Tristan? Are you just saying TikTok traders in general, or is that like a channel? Oh, my goodness. Ooh, Elon Musk confirms with exactly 95% of Cybercabs park at night during low demand. Optimus loads packages into Cybertrucks for doorstep or locker delivery. Whoops. Yeah, just in general. One guy said he lost his car to trading, and one said he's 50K deep on Top Step without any payouts. Jesus. How do you end up $50,000 in debt to a prop firm? That is wild. You know what I'm thinking too? So, did anybody see that video of the Optimus dancing yesterday? Yeah, also, Tristan, Top Step makes it so easy to limit your losses. So, like, that's why I love Top Step X because you can literally set it like one trade a day, two trades a day, and then be done. You like you can't blow that many accounts if you really want to. It just shows me those people don't actually want to be profitable. They're just complete degenerate gamblers. Like if you genuinely want to be profitable and you have the option to lock out an account after taking a certain amount of trades, like any reasonable person would do that. But if you don't actually want to be profitable and you just want to click buttons, then those are the people that are spending 50K. That's ridiculous. It feels so bad for people. Okay. 5 likes, 7 people watching. Good, 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 good. Yeah, but that's the thing, Tristan, is it's so hard for humans to do that. Yeah, and you literally have the tool like okay, if you were trading 5, 10 years ago, I would say yeah, it's a little bit more difficult because you literally have no way to stop yourself. But now you have prop firms, you can limit the amount you lose every day, you can limit the amount of trades you take every day. There is no reason whatsoever that you should be losing that much money. And no reason that you should be blowing. You can't if you have limits, you can't physically blow that many accounts where you'd be 50K in debt. It's impossible. Okay, again, we're just consolidating here. We had a decent push. London was a pretty decent mover. I wouldn't say that it's anything massive by any means, but I was going to say if London's range was huge, which it really wasn't in comparison to what NQ's been doing recently, I would say that maybe today wouldn't be that great, but I mean, it's 117 points. Not huge, not too small. Why do you choose on the start to go long on the 5 fig and no short? Um, you mean like when I started the stream, why did I choose to go long? Well, it's just a daily bias. So if you look at the daily chart, I mean, look at this pump, guys. Do you think if you're looking at this daily chart, look at it. It's green. Okay, this is a green candle. This is just thinking of the market from a super basic standpoint. Okay, if the daily candle is green, okay, that means that the day is bullish. Theoretically, okay, yes, it can reverse sometimes, but in general, as a very basic standpoint, if the daily candle is green, would you rather be going long and following the trend, or would you rather be going short? That's the first thing. So I see that the daily candle is green, and I can see that we keep making higher highs and higher lows on the daily chart. Very bullish. The next thing that I look for is where could the market potentially be drawing to? And immediately my eye goes towards imbalances. So in this case, we have a new week opening gap here. I know this is kind of a lot because there's a bunch of new week opening gaps in the chart. We also have a daily fair value gap. We're also in a weekly bearish PD array. So at minimum, I'd like to see this retrace up towards like the top of this at minimum. So all these things are pointing to a potential continuation of longs. So when I'm bullish, I don't really pay attention to short setups. I pay attention to long setups. And right now, we're delivering from a bullish 5-minute fair value gap. The bodies are holding the fair value gap. And if we do get this inversion, could it fail? Sure. But the odds are that we're probably going to come up and sweep this high and this high. And again, what are those lines? The daily internal highs on the left to the left of the chart. So that's that's pretty much it. My personal account has a $300 daily loss limit. Is that what that is? DLL? Okay, guys, I'm just being patient, waiting for that waiting for that 5-minute fair value gap to fill. Yeah, I mean, Tristan, that's good, bro. If your daily loss limit is $300, then you can easily make $600, $700 in a day if you do it right. Just like squeaking out 500 a day and withdrawing it. Yeah, listen, $500 a day is more than most people make. So do not be sad, guys, when you see a bunch of people making 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, $5,000 in a day, because a lot of the things you see on X, first of all, you're seeing everybody's highlights. They're not going to post the days they lose. They're not going to post the days that they're mid. They're going to post their best days. And consistently, if you can make $500 a day in the market, that is not bad at all. What is there, 265 trading days in a year? That's 132 grand. So yes, you're going to get taxed on it, but especially if you trade futures, guys. Another thing, if you didn't know, if you trade futures, you get much better tax benefits. So 60% of your profits are taxed at the short-term capital gains rate, and 40% or 60% are taxed at the long-term capital gains rate, and 40% is taxed at the short-term. So you save a lot of money in taxes if you trade futures, which is why I do it, but also because the accuracy of futures is unlike anything else. Carlos Ramirez, smiley face. Okay. Thanks. What is your confirmation to go long after we invert the 5-minute That is the confirmation. So once we get a body close above the 5-minute inversion, that is the entry. That's right. Big long. It's true, bro. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. Wow, what a slow. I mean, yesterday was kind of slow too. I didn't get my A plus entry yesterday, but if you guys remember, I did take this long. If we go back to the 1-minute chart, and I made a short on this, by the way. For those of you guys who saw the YouTube short yesterday, I did not take this personally. I explained in the YouTube short that after liquidity is swept, you can go long here. I did not take this because I didn't like the first 5-minute inversion, but it did work. But what I ended up taking was this inversion right here. Entered here, and I took my profits at this weekly imbalance. So I did de-risk, but what I was really looking for was a sweep of this sell-side liquidity for the CPI candle and then to go long, but we didn't get it. If we did get this, I think I would have made a lot more money on the day, but it's okay. Anyways, going back to today's price action because that's what matters. Again, guys, it is a no news day, so I am going to size down on this trade. I'm taking this on a funded account, not on a cash account. I don't take trades on cash accounts on no news days personally, unless it's so good I can't ignore it. And today is not one of those days for me. This will be on a funded account only. And if it loses, I'm fully accepting the risk. Whoops. And I'm going to be holding this all the way up to the second daily high. If I get stopped for break even on it, so be it. do 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 do. Bro, I get so many comments on my YouTube shorts from people saying, "You're doing a fantastic job. Could you help me with something unrelated? My OKX wallet holds some USDT and I have a seed phrase. Can somebody help me?" Like all these scams, bro. It's amazing to me that human beings fall for this stuff. Wow. What terrible price action. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Anyone else not take any trades today? I hope that's the case because there really was nothing A plus. Good job, Charlie. Ugh, so slow. Come on, y'all. Guys, there's 11 people in here and only 7 likes. Come on, let's like the stream. What? Okay, now there's 6 people in. That was a glitch. Boring. Bruh. This is the slowest PA in existence. What's probably happening here, if I had to guess, is that we're coming up to rebalance this 5-minute and then we're just going to continue dumping. But ask yourself, do you want to be a part of this PA with all these wicks? Probably not. Yeah, what my guess is that the AM session is going to be poor and then the PM session is going to be good. If I had to guess. Bro, Boeing is going crazy. Again, this is not financial advice, guys, but I will say that it's very likely that we come up and rebalance this monthly fair value gap. So if you have extra money and you understand fair value gaps and you understand how they rebalance and you're willing to take the risk, you can take some calls or even hold some shares, and you could move your stop to you can move your take profit to this 214 level or just below it, like maybe 214.02 or 213.85. I think that's very likely to hit in the next few days. Yeah, could be that situation. But what I think will help a lot of you guys out who are new traders, you should come into every day with basically two steps. Number one is determine your daily bias. I know sometimes that's easier said than done. And then number two, find a setup that looks super clean and don't take any other trade apart from that. What strike for Boeing? Depends. I mean, depends how long you're willing to wait. If you want something that's, I mean, super high risk, you can take the 214 calls, and if we get a huge run really quick, then you'll make money. But you have to think about theta decay too. So I don't personally trade options, but I'm just saying if you guys want to trade options, you can. I would do this with shares. Because the thing with technical analysis, guys, is a lot of the times you can predict where price is going to go, but it's very difficult to predict when the price is going to do it. So if you take short-dated option calls on Boeing, most likely you're going to lose. Even if it makes the expected move, if it doesn't happen perfectly when you want it to, you're going to lose money to theta decay. Time is a bitch when it comes to trading. Trading is hard enough, so that's why I don't really like calls unless you are super, super, super confident on something happening within a time frame, which is very difficult. So I would suggest doing this with shares. I will say this, and I made a short about this that's coming out on Thursday, but if you look at the crypto market, there's something super, super interesting going on with Riot, okay? We swept major sell-side liquidity on Riot, and we have a very clean monthly bearish fair value gap. If we close the month of May above this fair value gap, I think this is going to run probably up to this imbalance right here on the monthly chart, which is from this point 170%. So if you want to take some shorter dated or even slightly longer dated calls on Riot, again, your strike price is up to you to decide. Obviously, the lower you go, the safer. The higher you go, the faster it has to move to your direction. But I think that we're going to sweep all of this low resistance liquidity if retail knows this as a trend line. But at minimum, like that $15, $16 range, $15.90, $16 should hit. And then all this should hit afterwards. So that's something that I like. And of course, NQ is not moving the way that we want it to. And yeah, so it is what it is. What I do like is Google is actually moving quite nicely, which I like to see. Paper trading commission update. Good to know that your paper trading commissions are going up. Let's look at the mags. Google is pushing. I think Google is going to push as well, guys. We have this obvious fair value gap on the daily. So if this closes above on the daily today, I think this is going to pump. And I think we're going to go up here and up here and up here. We have a lot of buy-side liquidity on Google. So that 174 area on Google and this imbalance in the 170 low or high 170s is going to hit as well. So pay attention to this inversion right here. Label it IFEG so you can see if the daily closes above 161, which seems likely at this point, then we should see a push up to this high, and this high. And the reason being, think about it from a technical standpoint, okay? If you are short the market here, think about this to yourself. Where is your stop loss going to be? Well, the most obvious answer is going to be at internal highs. So this high, this high, this high, this high. Also, you have to realize we have this very massive gap on Google. I think this was earnings when we sold off. This is very likely to fill in the future too. So again, the timing, maybe we could hit these internal highs and then go down and then go up. Who knows how long it's going to take. This move took how many days? To get to this point from high to low, it took 62 days. So to get from this low to this high would take 62 days most likely. So, I mean, at the minimum. So 62 days would be somewhere here, give or take. So by June 25th, we could pump back up here. Again, it could be longer, but I'm just saying in general. I think this is a good spot to potentially add for the long term. Even if it goes back down, this is still a good spot to add for the long term. If you want to cut your risk, if we get a daily close back below the IFVG, you can. But even in these areas, I think Google is a great add for the long term. People are tweaking. Oh, what's up, Kay? Good morning. People are tweaking about, oh, the Apple search results. They're cutting Google out from their main search results, but I just think that's stupid. If you guys realize Androids are actually, there's more Androids than iPhones. And I mean, Google and Android are, so. Like if I owned Android, I wouldn't be concerned if most of the phones in the world have Google installed on them and I'm the owner of the Android, which you guys know that Google owns Android, so. My goodness, what terrible PA. So what I think is going to happen here, and me too. I know I don't use Safari at all. I think Safari is terrible. Like actually terrible. I use Google Chrome on everything. Okay, what are we looking at for the week? Well, I will say, guys, again, a majority of the weekly imbalance has happened already. I'd like to see us fill higher, so get into this secondary and third and fourth quadrant of the weekly imbalance. But objectively today, if we get a terrible afternoon session, a terrible morning session, I'll look for an afternoon long. But this daily high and this daily high are my objectives. Which gap, Kay? I know you're tired of loving with nobody to love. Nobody. Guys, also make sure you like the stream. I keep saying it. By the way, if anybody knows how to put a button, like I'm on Streamlabs, if you know how to get some kind of an animation that puts like or subscribe or some kind of a sticker at the bottom of the screen, let me know. Gap that formed on Monday. This imbalance right here, this could hit, but right now we're making higher highs and higher lows, so there's no reason for me to look for shorts yet. On Friday, I might look for a TGIF setup. So we'll look at the weekly candle. We'll draw the 20 to 30% retracement, and I'll look for a retracement down. But this gap so far to me, until we break, so I'm going to have this, I think this weekly candle is going to close bullish. I think up until Friday, we're going to have a big bullish week. Then I will draw the 50% of this weekly candle. If we completely have a lack of displacement, or if we have a big displacement below 50% of the weekly candle, then I will pay attention to this gap. But until that happens, I just want to be bullish. There's no reason for me to be bearish, right? Everything is telling me bullish here. The weekly candle's bullish. The daily candle's bullish. We're making higher highs and higher lows. So until I get a 50% retracement of the weekly candle, If we completely disrespect it and keep going lower, I'll look for a retracement up, and then I'll use that to go short to target this gap. Also, we have a data low that we never hit. Let me see where that was. Yeah, we have this data low here. Whoops. That I will keep on my charts. And then that gap from Monday is here. Or the Sunday gap, whichever one you want to call it. 20,396. Let me see if it checks out. Yeah. So we have a data low here, and then I would target that gap afterwards. So again, once we get a big retracement down, that's when I'll target it. But we'll see when that happens. Make sense, Kay? Are you working today, Kay, by the way? Trading in the bathroom? Do 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 do. Guys, bro on the John. Yeah, he's dedicated. He's dedicated to his craft. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. And again, guys, today is a no news day. It is not a cash count day for me. It is funded and eval only. So I will be taking this with small size on a funded, targeting this high and this high. I will move my stop to break even when high of day gets hit, and then I'll let it run all the way. So this will give me, if let's say we get the entry here, that's an 83-point move. Pretty good. But we hit it on ES. UCK, I don't know what that means. What do you mean we hit it on ES? Hit what? Guys, try and be more specific when you ask questions or you make a statement, because I don't know what that means. Oh, come on, y'all. Let's see if we get the long. So if it doesn't happen in this 10:50, 11:10 macro, likely it's not going to happen until the afternoon session, and we're just going to consolidate. Maybe we come down and we sweep London low, and then we get a setup later. But for now, guys, there is nothing. So just keep that in mind. Ooh, Nike's doing pretty well. Little bit of movement. Another stock, guys, if you're looking for something a little bit higher risk, but for me, it's a long-term ad. Nike is in a very good spot here. If we can inverse this weekly fair value gap and close above 63.14, I think this is going to pump. And I think we're going all the way back up to 82, back up to 90, 98, and then ultimately my target will be 109.96. And then I'll take most of my profits in here and maybe leave runners. But I think this is going to be a great long in the future. Once the China trade deal is announced and they have their next earnings call, things are bullish, we should go up. Next earnings for Nike is on the 26th of June. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so we're getting a push here. Hopefully this ends up being the closure above. And it's nice because we're right in this macro time now. So need to see movement here. And again, this will be my one trade of the day. And if it doesn't hit, I will be done. Okay, good. 9 watching and 8 likes. Love to see it. Love to see it. Oh, I'm gonna ask again because I didn't get an answer. Type one if you saw the Tesla robot dancing yesterday. Type one in the chat or say yes if you saw that robot dancing. Like doing the ballerina pose like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. Did you guys see that on X? Evan with the two. Evan always comes in with a two, huh? Wow, bad hair day today. So, one thing I wanted to point out with that robot. First of all, I think a lot of you guys know, but especially with a robot, Elon likes to keep a lot of stuff under wraps. He doesn't really like to reveal things. He doesn't want competitors copying what they do. But you have to think, if he's posting that video today, realistically, how old do you think that video is? It's probably relatively old. So everyone's really impressed with what they're seeing with the robot, but realistically, that's probably a few months old, in my opinion. So I don't think people know what's coming. I really don't. Okay, so I think we're going to get the 5 minute inversion here. Let's see. Okay, here it goes. We got 2 minutes till the close. 1 minute left. Let's see if we get the close above. And again, this will be my one trade of the day. I will target the internal high here, and I'll target this high. Big Long, you're delayed as hell, my brother. I said that like 10 minutes ago. I'm betting on it. I think Tesla is the most asymmetrical bet in the market right now. You guys have to think. Okay, so it looks like we're not going to get a close here on the 5 minute. So lame. You guys have to think. Waymo, if you guys don't know Waymo, Google's company that they bought out, I think they have 1,500 vehicles, and they're generating $250 million a quarter. They're projected to make $250 million a quarter, I believe. It might be annually, not 100%. But you have to think, that's 1,500 cars. If Tesla turns on full self-driving unsupervised, they're going to be able to they're going to have millions of cars doing the exact same thing without this geographical restriction. If you didn't know, Google, the Waymo can't go on highways, and it has to have a preset route, like a preset geographical map where it can drive in. Teslas can literally drive anywhere. Again, everything needs fine tuning. It's not perfect yet, but if you look at what they're doing with their robots, I mean, bro, they're gonna go crazy. So let's say they have millions of cars doing the same thing. They're going to be able to generate tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars every quarter or annually, whatever the projections are. That's going to bring their market cap. It's going to skyrocket their market cap. I don't think people understand what's going to come with Tesla. And like I see these, bro, like this guy Gurgavin on Twitter. If you guys know who he is, or on X, whatever you want to call it. He's like this super rich Indian dude, comes from a very rich family. And he keeps trying to run his DCF model on Tesla without including robo taxis or the Optimus bots. Like, Those DCF models don't work for a technology that no one's experienced before. So again, not financial advice, but I think there's going to be some crazy moves that happen with Tesla in the future. Don't sleep on Tesla. You'll regret it. Yeah, I don't know. Let's take a look at Uber chart real quick while we wait for this 5-minute inversion. Uber is at all-time highs. That's wild. I don't know if I would necessarily short Uber. I don't know if Tesla is going to kill Uber. I think Uber has a pretty incredible platform and a lot of dedicated followers. What will probably happen is Uber will just have a bunch of Teslas on their rideshare platform, or maybe Tesla won't allow it. I don't know, but I wouldn't necessarily short Uber because they have a pretty loyal customer base. I don't know if I would even say that, to be honest. But I just don't think that they're just going to fall over and die and let Tesla take the whole market. I think they're probably going to implement Tesla into their business model somehow. I don't know though. I would, if I was choosing between longing Uber and Tesla though, I would obviously long Tesla. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to buy Tesla. I don't think it makes sense for them. But that's a good potential idea. I drive for Uber, driver's not happy. Why, Big Long? Oh, they pay too low? Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I think that the days of people driving people around are going to be gone very soon. Let me take a look. What's the worst performer? Intel is down today, of course. Hims is down. I am so pissed off with Hims. So I sold puts in the Discord here when we were down at 27. I sold the 21 puts. Obviously, we booked crazy profits on those, but by the way, when you sell a put, it's bullish. So don't think that I'm shorting Hims. I'm not. But I was not able to get my order filled. I wanted to buy Hims at 21, so I would have been up 300%. But that's all right. Also, if any of you guys are wondering about Bitcoin, yeah, if you had a self-driving Tesla, I will point out on Bitcoin, I think what's going to happen here. So I already pointed this out, guys, but we closed above this daily fair value gap right here. Now we're consolidating within the daily. I think this daily fair value gap here is going to drive us much higher. But some news is going to have to be announced from the Trump administration that's going to drive this. Like, for example, if they mention that there's going to be zero capital gains tax on all crypto purchases and transactions or whatever, crypto sales, crypto whatever, if there's zero tax on crypto, then that's probably going to drive it much higher. Or if something with the UAE, if the Saudis end up buying like $100 billion or $1 trillion worth of Bitcoin, that's going to drive it crazy. We'll see what happens. But I think there's going to be some major news is going to have to be the driver to bring this up to like the 120s. And then from there, I think it's going to push much higher. I think it still has to pass at the top. What does that mean, Tristan? I'm not sure. Okay, so potential 5-minute order block forming here. If we can close 2 down close candles here and then reclose up, then that's going to be my entry on this trade. And I want to see the inversion as well, obviously. So boring. Also, guys, if you have any stocks you want me to go over, let me know. Because right now, nothing is happening with this market. What I think I'm gonna have. Do you hold Sol? No. The only cryptocurrency that you guys, in my opinion, that you should even be close to touching is Bitcoin. And again, my cost basis is below 50K. It's like 37.9 or something. So what I'm going to do, guys, is stay on until this 11:10 macro. If it doesn't happen in this macro time, I think we're probably going to have a shitty rest of the day until the afternoon session where we'll probably get along up to these daily highs. I will call that in the community, obviously, under the live trade section. So in the Discord, you guys can see all the things that we include. So all my long-term ads, option selling, swing trading, and then under the live alert section, if I'm not streaming, I call any A plus setups I see here. We go over the weekly overview every single week under the news economic calendar section. We got everything. So, or in my opinion, everything that you would need. But of course, there's always other stuff. Okay, so we are rejecting from this 5 minute after filling the highs of it. Ooh, this 3 minute looks pretty good. I'm not going to take this short, guys, because my bias is bullish, but this does not look half bad here. The 3 minute closes below. Stop to break even at this low. There's a lot of low resistance liquidity here, and I would probably target London lows. Where's midnight opening price? We already touched into midnight. Where's 8:30? Yeah. I'm not going to take this short because my bias, again, is bullish, but this will probably work down to this low, this low, this low, this low, and then hopefully London low. Wow. You know what? I'll be back, guys. Let me go make some coffee, and then I'll come back in about 5 minutes. But pay attention to what happens here. Again, one thing I never do, guys, is trade against my bias because I'm bullish. But this 3 minute inversion looks like it's going to sweep all of this now, and then London low is probably likely. If London low sweeps, then maybe we can get an A plus setup later to target the daily highs, but we'll see. So give me about 5 minutes, and I will be back. All right, 1 second, guys. Yo, can you guys hear me? Evan with the 1. Let's go. Okay. So we swept some low resistance liquidity here. Um, this doesn't look half bad either, to be honest, guys. And then your stop to break even would be at this internal high. Are we bouncing from midnight opening price? Right at midnight again. Yeah, if this 3-minute inverses, I do like this as well, to be honest. This will probably be my one trade of the day. Yeah, and also, why is my ES chart? Okay, let me change this, guys, 1 second. Okay, that way we have ES on the chart as well. ES took its London low. Yeah, this is a nice looking SMT. And we got the 5-minute inversion and the 3. It's running towards the end of the macro time, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I still think this is a pretty good setup. So I will take this if we get it. So I want to see the 3-minute and the 5-minute inverse. And if we do, then I will take this long. Stop to break even. Probably this high right here. If you guys want to be super risk averse, you can move your stop to break even at the high, the internal high here. But I think that this high will come if this inverses to the upside. I like the SMT right now. So if you look at NQ, we are making a higher low, and then ES, obviously we are making a lower low. So we will label this SMT and SMT. So you see how I wait patiently? And again, if this setup wins, awesome. If it loses, it is what it is. But this meets my criteria. We have an SMT, ES took a London low. We have a very beautiful inversion. The only thing I don't like about this trade is that it is at the end of a macro time, and I also don't like it's a no news day. With that being said, even though it's a no news day, this setup is good enough for me to take on a funded account. I will size down on it because it's a no news day, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And because it's the end of the macro time. But apart from that, if this was in the beginning of a macro time and this was a news day, then I would take this full size. But because it's not, I'm managing risk. That's how you guys should be trading. You guys should always analyze where you are in the charts, where you are with time, because time is super important. And also analyze what type of a day is it. Is it a no news day? Yes. And also, if you look, so I post this every week in the economic calendar, but under the news economic calendar section, you can see here that not only is it a no news day, but there's also a ton of FOMC members speaking. So a lot of the times the algorithms, whatever you want to call it, however you believe the market moves, they use FOMC members to create bad price action a lot of the times. So just keep that in mind. But nonetheless, this is still good enough for me to take. So I will take it. Oh, I also want your guys' opinion on something. I'll do it after this. But actually, let me pull it up now. Which of these thumbnails do you guys like better? I'm trying to see which one. Okay, so this is the one that you saw to. Oh no, this is one of the. Oh, this is actually about to work. Okay, never mind, guys. I'll pull it up afterwards. Okay, 8 likes with 7 people watching. I like to see that. I love to see that. Appreciate the likes, guys. So if the 3 minute closes above, you can enter early. I will wait for the 5 minute as well, but this is too good of a trade for me to pass up. Ooh, new property available. Okay, very beautiful push here. We've got less than a minute left till the close, so I will probably take this on the 5. I might not even wait for the 3 here. I think the 5 is good enough to take. Again, if we get the 5 minute close above here on this candle, I will take this long. Stop will be a 5 minute close back below the inversion, which is actually right here. But I'm probably going to keep the stop under the 3 so that I have a little bit more room for error here. Come on, 5 minute. Give us a close above here. Be nice. All right, no close above on the 5. That's unfortunate. Hopefully we get a close on the 3. I'll take it if we get a close on the 3. They're both going to end up at the same point. So the 3 minute candle closes at 18, which is in 3 minutes. 5 minute candle closes at 20. So I will probably wait for the 3, and then I'll leave my stop loss as a close back below the inversion. So I gotta wait 3 minutes until I take this trade, guys. If it pumps without me, so be it. Okay, 2 more minutes. Let's see if we get the close above. Okay, 1 more minute. I'm going to take this on the 3 minute, guys. Even though the 5 minute has not closed above yet, I'm willing to take this risk. If you want to wait for the 5 minute and be more risk averse, you can. I'm not going to. I'm going to use the 3 minute inversion as my entry and my exit. 30 seconds left. Let's see if we get the close above. Well, no close above, unfortunately. Sucks, but it is what it is. Now we got to wait for the next three. What I would prefer, if I'm being honest, guys, I would love to see this 5 minute close above. That's going to be the real entry. Like the lowest risk entry, in my opinion, is here. It does reduce your risk to reward, though, which I'm not a huge fan of. But yeah, got to be patient. Oh my God. Oh. There's a video of this guy in Mexico that's hanging by a rope from a hot air balloon that's on fire and he falls off. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. So lame. I guess this is what happens after we have huge runs. So you guys can see we had this massive run on Tuesday. And we have this obvious consolidation here on a Wednesday. So I think, guys, I'll probably call it here. I'd rather have seen this happen. Maybe I'll wait one more 5 minute candle. Okay, I'm going to wait one more 5 minute candle. If we don't get a close above here on the 5 minute, on the next 5 minute candle, which closes at 25, I'm just going to be done. And then if I see an A plus setup in the afternoon session, I will call it. But let's see what happens here. Hopefully we get a bullish next 5 minutes. But I think that will be it for me. Guys, 12 people in here and there's 8 likes. Come on, y'all. That's not a good ratio. Okay, so hopefully we get it on this next 5 minute candle. If we close above, that's going to be my entry. And my stop loss is going to be a 5 minute close back below the inversion. And the reason I like this trade is because we do have, this is the last PD array that's holding down price. So if we do reject from here, then we're going to go down and this SMT is going to fail. But if we close above it, I get a nice stop. My stop is going to be down here as a 5 minute close back below this inversion. But this is pretty much the PD array holding down price right now. Four minutes left. Let's see if we get it. 3 minutes left. Come on. Give us something, market. Okay, so again, I'm going to be sizing down on this because it is after the macro time and it's a no news day. But I do like the SMT, I do like the 5-minute inversion, and I would target these two highs here. Okay, we pretty much got a minute and 20 seconds left, so let's see. One minute left. If this ends up pumping without us, I'm going to be annoyed, but it is what it is. Come on. Who's taking this trade? And who's scared? Again, I've completely accepted this risk. If it goes my way, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. 30 seconds left. Oh, Charlie's already in. Oh boy. So this is a good inversion. We haven't closed above yet, but this will close above this. If we close above this inversion and this inversion, that's a good enough risk reward for me to take. It's about a 1.7. Bruh. All right. So technically, guys, this is an entry here, but you have to remember that this bearish PD rate is still holding down price. I think I'm going to be done here. There's no reason for me to take this. And by the time this 5-minute candle closes, if it closes up here, I mean, the RR is reduced significantly. If you guys want to try it here, then you can. And now your stop to break even will be at this internal high, and you can target high of day. I am not going to take this personally because of this 5-minute gap. But technically, that is an entry. This is the entry right here. Stop loss is a 5-minute close back below. But I want to be safe, especially on a no news day, and I'm only going to take this if we close above this 5-minute inversion. But looking at this candle here, it's probably going to close up, and then I'm not really going to get an entry. So it sucks, but that is the reality of trading, is that you're not going to get the A+ entry always. But if you're in this here, guys, that's your entry. Stop to break even, in theory, should be here, honestly. If I was being honest, this is the stop to break even. And you basically have to pray that this is just going to pump up to this high. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one. I want to see this bearish PD rate close above as well. Because what can happen here is this is just a sweep of this liquidity, and then they could dump the market here. So not a huge fan of it right now. If we do get a 5-minute close above, I'll take it, but not a huge fan of this setup because we just swept this internal high. Come on, y'all. There's 14 people watching this, and there's only 9 likes. Do you guys understand why I don't like this entry? If you don't get why I don't like this, you can speak up. Let me know. Don't be embarrassed. Also, you have to remember, guys, we've had this massive move on Tuesday. So what you're seeing here is probably consolidation to ultimately manipulate down and then go higher, potentially. I do like the SMT with ES, though. I'm not going to lie. I do like that we swept that liquidity. But it's not good enough for me to take just yet until that 5-minute inverses. Okay, so there's 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left till this candle close. Realistically, if this is going to go, it's just going to pump without me. But we will see. Okay, 2 minutes left. Congrats if you're in this already, guys. I'm not. Ugh, that's so annoying. If it closes up here, guys, I'm probably not going to take this. I'll have to size down like crazy because we could easily reject from here, and then the stop loss is now a lot bigger. It went from almost a 2-to-1 to a 1.5. Nice, Ahmed. Good job. Okay, I guess I'll try this. Again, much smaller size here. Oh shit, did I short it? Oh, whoops, guys. Whoops, 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 whoops. I shorted the market. My bad. So TP is going to be up here. Stop loss will be a 5-minute close back below. Not a huge fan of this, guys. I'm sizing down on it for sure. But this, in theory, should drive us up to this high and then these two daily highs. Stop to break even will be at high of day. So right here would be stop to break even. And yeah, we'll see what happens here. Really, if you want to be risk averse, guys, your stop to break even should come when this high gets swept. But that is up to you to decide. There's FOMC members speaking today. It's a no news day. Not a huge fan. So that's why I'm sizing down. And again, this is unfunded, not on cash accounts. Not today. Absolutely not. And again, the stop loss is huge. So, not again. If you guys are contemplating if this is AAA plus, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Not A plus. A plus to me is an 8 or a 9 out of 10 at minimum. Just being honest with you. If this high gets swept, I'm most likely going to move my stop to break even. Guys, there's 17 people in here. 10 likes. Come on, y'all. I like that there's kind of like a bearish breaker SMT order block. So I'd like to see this drive higher. If this high gets swept, guys, I will move my stop to break even. Just to reduce risk, because I don't like the fact that we're kind of consolidating here. Really, the stop to break even should be up there, but just because of the nature of the day, FOMC member speaking, my stop is going to go here. If we're lucky enough to get it. Do 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 do. Tesla is very strong today, which is the other thing that gives me faith here. But all right, I'm gonna move my stop to break even here. I really want this to just push. I don't like how big this stop is, so this is a free trade for me now, guys. If this high gets swept, great. If not, it is what it is. I don't want to risk on a day like this, to be honest. These big 5-minute inversions give me PTSD, especially on a no news day. So if this high gets hit, for sure I would move my stop to break even, but I'd rather just see this cleanly deliver here. I'm not going to risk it on a day like today, guys. So basically this volume imbalance here on the 1 minute is the final line in the sand. If we don't bounce from here, we're going to go back to my stop. So I will be honest here, my confidence level on this trade is not as high. Again, I'm sizing down, moving my stops quickly because I don't want to get smoked on a retracement into this 5-minute inversion. Are these perfect equal highs here? So one thing that's nice to see is that we do have perfect equal highs that just formed on the 1 minute chart with a gap in between them. So I do like that, but okay, very nice. If you guys want to book profits at this high, you can. I'm going to have to hold this all the way up. I might even take profits at this high. We'll see. Because now that it's a free trade, my RR has increased significantly, obviously. This is now a 20-to-1 RR trade, so good, but not great. Because I am, again, this is not a high confidence trade, and so that's why I'm moving my stop to break even quickly. Tesla pumping, that's right. That's why the only reason I have faith with NQ pumping right now is because of Tesla. I think Tesla's going to hit the 380s pretty soon. Okay, so beautiful trade so far. We really need to see this pump here at this high. I don't want to see it stall. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so up 320 per contract. I'm in this with micros on my fundeds, by the way. I'm not in this with NQ. So, okay, so if you want to take profits here, you can. I think this should pump. If it's going to, I don't want to see it stall here. So this is a free trade. It's a zero or hero. Wow. Wow, Tesla really is pumping, bro. 350. I don't like that NQ is failing here while Tesla's pumping. Yeah, yeah, I think Tesla's gonna hit 380 pretty soon. $380. There is if you guys look at the daily chart on Tesla, I would say between 360 and 380 is likely for Tesla. Maybe between 367 and 380. I'll quickly pull it up for you guys to see on the daily chart. You guys can see here there's this internal high that formed from February 19th. This is where a lot of people's stop losses are on Tesla. So I think we're going to hit that, which is at 367. And then we have a lot of gaps here, like at the 390 to 400 area. I think that this 380 high and this 367 high, somewhere in here is possible before the Robotaxi event. And then we'll see what happens from there. But again, hoping for a push here. This is a free trade. Like I said before, I move my stops to break even quickly, especially on low confidence days. So it's either 0 or $800 per contract on NQ. And yeah. Where's the equal highs? On what? On NQ? Evan, your stream is really delayed, but they were right here. Yeah, I know there's a gap. Let's go, Charlie. Good. Book your profits early. Guys, all right, I took this out. I don't like that rejection here. I moved my stop below that order block and I'm out. If this ends up going, so be it, but I think this is probably going to stop out for break even and rebalance this 5 minutes. So that is my trade for today. I am not trying to risk more than that. Book profits, it is what it is. I mean, realistically, this is going to come back down and rebalance this 5. If it goes without me, so be it. But I know from past experience, when we sweep a high like this and we reject very quickly, it's likely that I would get stopped at break even. So I'd rather have booked some profits there. I'm not really interested in being part of this anymore. Could it continue? Sure. I'm not interested in being part of this anymore. But at least I booked something there. And yeah, we'll see how the rest of the day plays out. If I see anything else A+, that's a little bit better risk to reward without such a huge stop loss, I'll call it out in the live alert section. Appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, do whatever, yada, yada, yada. And I'll see you guys in the Discord, all right? Peace.